Now you want to know what happens when I bury bananas, eggshells, peanuts, avocado peels, cracked eggs, and even milk in my soil. Now I'm conducting an experiment and I'm burying quite a few of these kitchen scraps and other organic matter in my soil, and I'll show you what happens. Now first of all, I'm going to bury these banana peels. Make sure to remove this tag from the banana peels. You don't want to introduce glossy plastic in your garden. So let me dig a hole here, and I'm going to add my banana peels right in there. Next up, I'm going to bury some orange peels. So again, just going to dig a deeper hole. There you go. And then cover it back up. And I'm also marking them so I don't forget where they are. Next up, some common greens, such as some cilantro stalks. Let's bury these, and let's mark these as well. Next up, some avocado peels. Next, some peanut shells and some onion shells. Next, some eggshells, and I'm going to crush this real well and then add them in there. There you go. And I have some bad eggs that chicken laid somewhere and I couldn't find them, so I don't know how long they've been sitting out. So those go right here. Next, I'm adding eggs by cracking them. So let me crack these eggs. You can see the yolk is just bright orange. This is because our chickens are enjoying their life right by the pond, and the egg quality is phenomenal. Next, I'm adding milk. I'm digging the hole, and then I'm adding a liter of milk, which is about 1/4 gallon of milk, right into the hole. And let me cover this up. Now, one of the reasons I discourage adding milk, eggs, meat, and other dairy products into your gardens is because of this. Very cute. But she actually does not dig anymore. I have taught her not to dig in my garden, and she's been really good. However, you might have other rodents, you might have raccoons, possums, even coyotes, or some people even have bears in their area. So you don't want to do this if you have those kind of animals in your area, because you don't want to attract them onto your property. Lily, no digging in that area. Understand? Okay. So it's been 2 months since I buried all of these kitchen scraps right in my garden, right here. And now let me uncover these and dig these up and see what they look like. So first of all, I'm going to dig up the area where I buried the banana peels. I don't think I can find anything here. Yep, there's nothing to be found. Oh, look at it. There's an earthworm right there. So let me check really good. There's absolutely no sign of the banana peel. Now, banana peels contain potassium, which is one of the main nutrients that plants consume, and they decompose really well and provide organic matter to the soil. So banana peels are recommended. Next up, orange peels. Right there, very fine remnants of the orange peels. Most of them have actually decomposed. I do not see much. However, I do not see any earthworms either. Now, oranges decompose well. However, they did not decompose as quickly as the bananas. I could still see little remnants of the orange peels. And orange peels are not liked by earthworms. However, if you care about attracting earthworms in your soil, I would not recommend using orange peels directly in your soil. Now, you can always add orange peels in your compost. Overall, I'm neutral on orange peels. Next up, leafy greens. So let me dig that area. There's absolutely no sign of leafy greens either. These decompose very quickly as well. Now look at this area with the greens. Look at these earthworms. Let me pick them up. Now these are the ones that actually decompose, that help in decomposing the material, and they make black gold. So you want to attract these guys. Now, leafy greens contain nitrogen, and they decompose really quickly, and they attract earthworms. So leafy greens are recommended. Next up, avocado peels. You know what? This is very surprising. There's no sign of any avocado peels. Here, I found an earthworm in the avocado peel area as well. Now, this tells you whether the organic matter is decomposing well or not. When you see these guys, it's decomposing really well. Now, I'm really surprised about avocado peels. Now, in my previous video, I said not to use avocado peels directly in your garden because they take a long time to decompose. However, in this experiment, I think I was wrong, so I take that back. Avocado peels are attracting earthworms and they're decomposing rather quickly, so I would recommend them.
Now, your plants don't really consume eggshells, bananas, avocado peels, kitchen scraps, and all of this organic matter. All of this organic matter has to break down and turn into its elemental form for the plants to consume. And what makes that happen? All the microbial activity in the soil and the earthworms that help to consume all the mold and fungi that grows on these organic matter, and they further break this down. Next up, peanut shells. Oh yeah, I find them. There you go. They're all the peanut shells right here. Peanut shells do not decompose quickly. These peanut shells will be in your garden for years. So I do not recommend adding peanut shells directly in your garden. However, you can use these peanut shells for mulch. Next up, onions. Let's see if we can find onion peels in here. Well, I don't expect to find any earthworms here because earthworms do not like onions. Like earthworms do not like oranges. Well, I cannot find any onion shells either. Wow, that's also very surprising. I thought onions would take much longer to decompose. However, there are no earthworms in here either. So again, if you want to attract earthworms, I would not recommend burning onion peels directly into your garden. You can always add them to your compost pile. So overall, I'm neutral on onion peels. Next up, eggshells. I do expect to find eggshells in here, and I do not expect to find any earthworms. So let's see. Yeah, I see eggshells. Right there. Oh yeah, I see plenty. Yeah, eggshells take much longer to decompose. Yeah, there they are. Now there are plenty of eggshells in here. Look at it. All of these eggshells, they have not decomposed. Now, if you want to use eggshells in your garden to provide calcium to your plants, you have to add eggshells at least 6 months before you plant your tomatoes or other plants that actually prefer more calcium. Now, this is because eggshells take a long time to decompose, and it takes time for calcium to be released from the eggshells for plants to consume. Now, some people say bake your eggshells before adding to your soil, and that helps the eggshells to decompose rather quickly. Now, if you have experience with that, comment below and share your experience. Now, next up, whole eggs. Let's see if we can find whole eggs in here, or did they start decomposing? Oh, there they are. Oh, nothing has happened to these eggs. Let me see. Oh, I just cracked one open. Otherwise, they were intact. Yes, the eggs will not decompose just by themselves. You have to crack them up. And let's see what the cracked eggs look like too. Next up, cracked eggs. Well, I do see some eggshells. Let's see what else has happened. Oh, it's a pretty stinky smell. A lot of eggshells. However, the egg white and egg yolk has actually decomposed. Now, why does the soil smell so bad? This is because the decomposition process has gone anaerobic. Now, what this means is that there was a lot of microbial activity in the soil to decompose the organic matter. However, they have used up all the oxygen in the soil, and there is no more oxygen available. And then the microbes that thrive in the absence of oxygen are actually multiplying. And the decomposition process that's happening in the absence of oxygen is called anaerobic. Now, your plant roots require oxygen. Now, the anaerobic process occurs more often with the animal-based products as opposed to the plant-based products. However, it can occur with the plant-based products too. It's just very less likely. So if there is restrictive or limited oxygen available in the soil, that's detrimental to your plant roots and your plants. On another note, animal-based products also encourage bad insects such as maggots and can also encourage harmful microbial activity too. Now, my goal is not to discourage or encourage people to do certain things. I just want to give you factual information and what is best for your soil and your garden. Next up, milk. Let's see what the area with milk looks like. Yeah, there's a lot of clumping of the milk. So it kind of clumps up underneath the soil. See right there. And it kind of smells pretty bad as well. Very stingy smell. Now there's a lot of discussion whether you should add kitchen scraps and other organic matter directly in your garden. Now some people like it and some people are totally against it. Now I'll start by saying everything in this world decomposes. Even iron rusts and decomposes. So it's not really a matter of whether the thing is going to decompose or not. The question is whether it's good for your soil. Now, in my experience, I've used some of this organic matter directly in my garden, not directly under the plants, but around the plant, so the roots can grow into it. But I'm very choosy on the kind of organic matter I use. I like to use banana peels, leafy greens, dead leaves, and the stuff that can decompose rather quickly. Now I know some people will bury fish and other meat products directly under their plants, and they'll crack up an egg right under a tomato plant. Well, this might seem like a good practice. However, it's not really very beneficial to the plants because that thing has to decompose before the nutrients are available for the plants to consume. I do not like to use eggs, milk, dairy products, or meat directly in my garden because it can attract rodents, it can attract unnecessary animals, and it can create anaerobic reaction in your soil that is not good for your plants. So if you want to avoid all the hassle and you don't want to take any risk of any diseases or anything that might come with adding all of this organic matter directly into your soil, I would say just create a compost pile, let it decompose there, and then add it to your garden. That is the safest way to use kitchen scrap and all the organic matter. Well, I hope you found this little experiment very useful. Comment below on your findings and your experience, and check out this video on 7 things you can always bury in your garden. And I'll see you in another video.